Welcome back to Fire Princess Reviews. I'm Fire Princess Lily, here to talk to you about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. So, what are we talking about today? Well, if you paid attention to the last video, if you watched the last video, you would know that we're talking about the Steven Universe comic. Boop boop. There are a lot of cute, very cute covers, and this is the one I chose. I just really like the whole farming aspect, and Sadie and Lars look kind of cute here. So, before we get into it, we are going to talk a little bit, tiny bit, smidge, about the show, too, because we kind of have to, just a little bit. It's so tiny how much we have to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a lot. So if you haven't caught up with the new season, which is over, by the way, they already aired the last episode of Season 5, so, if you're not caught up, get caught up. Because these are some of the heavy-handed spoilers and shit that's going to happen. So if you really love the show and you want to, find out this stuff organically, watch the show. Plenty of places to watch it online. Boom. I'm sure most of it is on demand if you have cable. However you're going to do it, just do it. Come back, watch this afterwards. It's going to be fun. So what is the Steven Universe comic? Well, it is by Kaboom Studios, which is a subset of Boom Studios. It's really just another department. They handle, more of the cartoon, more like the cartoon stuff. Like, they do Rocko's Modern Life, they do Rugrats, I don't think Doug has a comic. Thank goodness. Doug was a terrible show. But yes, Steven Universe. They do Steven Universe. I guess it's really more for a younger audience, sort of. I mean, the Rocko's Modern Life comic is really interesting and neat. It's great. I love it. We're probably never going to talk about it. We might talk about it. I don't know. I never know. Anyway, not important. What is important? This comic. So, this is a cute comic that's been running for about a year and a half. It's got 18 issues, and they are each issue is self-contained to itself. None of the stories pour over into the next issue. It's always just one-off little adventures that Steven is having with other people, and there are really no high stakes involved. It's just meant to be like a fun, friendly comic, and sort of a fresh of breath air into what the series has become, which is every episode's like a new big but because it's so self-contained, it also doesn't take on aspects from the show. For example, like I said, there are going to be huge spoilers here, so if you're not watching, or if you're like, oh, I'm just going to watch it all at once, this is it. Go watch it. So things like Lapis leaving the planet in Fear of the Diamonds, not featured in this comic, or Rose being outed as Pink Diamond, not in this comic. So, it's none of that. Maybe in much, much, much later issues, it'll go into that, but it all seems pretty self-contained. The diamonds aren't even really mentioned too much in the comic. It's really interesting. It's just feel-good stuff, like Garnet and Steven and Lars and Dewey's son, whatever that kid's name is, I always forget, go to a corn maze and have fun in a corn maze. And a couple of the scarecrows look like the diamonds, and one of them looks like All Might, like scary All Might, which is cute. It's a good reference. I enjoy it. Anyway, messing with stuff. Don't worry about it. Whew. So yeah, there's totally all of that. So it's cute, just one-off stories with no high stakes. I've already said that, but I really want to reiterate it. In this issue in particular, it's all about putting Greg on a stage and, putting on a show for the people of each city. Steven finds a bunch of copies of his old album, and Kiki, right? Yeah, Kiki, one of the one of the pizza girls, like, is like, hey, I want to listen to that. And then she, like, tells everybody about it, and they all want to hear it. And it goes really interestingly. It turns into a big cookout. It's weird. There's a whole issue about food trucks and trying to bring money into the town. It doesn't quite go the way that Mayor Dewey wants. It's like, that's exactly what it's about. It's just about these fun little adventures that the cast has, and it's really lighthearted and just it's pure. Sure. The very first issue is about them nursing a baby bird back to health until it's good enough to fly. Peridot thinks she can turn it into an eagle because she doesn't understand evolution, or yeah. So if you're looking for basically the super dark stuff that's going on in the show currently, you're not going to find it here. If you want something that's just like, oh, I really just want to feel good about Steven Universe again, I don't want the emotions and the feelings and, the crying, then this is for you. This is totally what you're looking for, because it's like season 1, but without cat fingers. That, or Frybo. Those 2 episodes, really awful. No, I mean, they're not awful. It's just like, whew. Yep. Like, I have nightmares about cat fingers just because that particular episode was just like so out there and weird, and I just don't know. And I don't even know if the Onions Room episode is in the first season too. That was really weird, but that might be the second season. Whew. That show that show's great, but at the same time, it has a good way of just hurting you in multiple ways, either your innocence or your feelings or all of it at once. But let's talk about the new episodes a little bit. Switch it up, because we've already talked about the comic as much as we can talk about the comic. I don't know what else to say to you. The art is definitely a little more consistent than the show, so that is definitely a bonus it has going for it. But it does use a bunch of different artists to make the comic book. So, consistent to a point. Oh, there's an entire issue about Amethyst and Pearl wrestling like Steven and Amethyst did in Tiger Millionaire. It's really great. And it gets them closer together. I really do recommend the comic book if you just want something lighthearted and fun. Moving on, let's talk about those new episodes, right? So, like we mentioned earlier, Roseless Pink Diamond. Who saw that coming? Apparently a lot of people saw that coming. I think they guessed it, and they're being a little smug about getting it right. But you know what? Fine. I've been smug about Korra and Asami all these years, and will continue to be smug until the day I die. So let them have it. Let them have it. I'll have fun. Then the entire, because I was actually arguing with a person about why didn't Rose do this? Why didn't Rose do that? And I was on the side of Rose did all these things to try to stop the colony. I mean, we're just supposed to kind of assume it because it happens off screen. But then they did a whole episode of them showing Rose, trying to do all these different things before before she became Rose Quartz and started a rebellion. So that was nice. That was cool. Thanks for backing my arguments, Crew Inverse. And the entire Ruby Sapphire wedding thing, that was really great. I think the best song this season so far has been Ruby Rider from the Cowboy episode. I don't know why. It's totally on the range, low grade country junk, and I love it. Unironically. I don't know. It's weird. But I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to the fandom so much. I'm sure, I remember when the cluster happened and Steven solved it with the power of friendship and hugs, and there were so many people just angry that Steven didn't blow up the cluster or punch it to death or any of the other things that Steven wouldn't do at all. It's not in his character. They were very upset that Steven didn't go out of his way to destroy the cluster, or that somebody else can destroy the cluster, which is not what the show is about at all. Like, I guess it's kind of like it was a little bit when you got to Jasper, but for the most part, Steven Universe has been about solving your problems with violence if you have to, but if there's another way, you don't maybe have to shatter anything or kill anybody. You can just do the dang thing, right? So I don't know if people are particularly upset about the whole, yep, there was a bug and I tried to snatch it, whatever. Anyway, I don't know if people are upset that Steven decided to try to talk to the diamonds and that it's actually going to work. And instead of, we're going to kill the diamonds because fuck them. That's not in his character at all. It's never been a part of his character, and maybe that's kind of a problem in some aspects, but in others, the crew inverse writing for Steven, the way that Steven's always been written, that's just how that's his character. And there has been character growth for him, but he's never abandoned that principle of we can hug this out if we find a way we can hug it out. We don't have to fight. We don't have to kill each other. I don't want that. Look at what killing each other got us in the first place. Ugh, not good. So, yeah. I guess I appreciate it. I guess, I'd like to see the diamonds pay for what they put the crystal gems through. They put other planets through. But I can't necessarily be angry that Steven's going to Steven. So, there you go. There you have it. And I have no idea what's going to happen next season. If there's going to be some kind of truce between them. Maybe Yellow Diamond's like, cool. Well, Pink Diamond's not dead. She's just a little boy. Weird. Let's get the colony back underway. Could be a whole thing she does. I don't know. Yellow Diamond is completely unpredictable. Maybe White Diamond's the real villain. Maybe she's the one who makes all this crap happen. I don't know. Neither do you. If you guess it and you happen to be right, we'll let you be smug. That's fine. I'm going to be smug forever. Anyway. That's the end. That's where we're at. Okay, so what are we doing next episode? RoboCop. We're talking about RoboCop's citizen's arrest. I don't believe I've done that yet. I haven't. Cool. That's what we're going to talk about because it's a comic. Yep, it sure is. Hopefully. Anyway, we'll get into that. I'm Fire Princess Lily. This has been Fire Princess Reviews, and until next time, love comics, love cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.